Welcome back. I'm Shane, this is Relative Time, and today I have some unfortunate news about a fan favorite of the channel. The 42mm Escapement Time Flieger is no more. Well, technically they're still selling it, but they've changed a number of elements, making this a pale shadow of its former self. Now, I'm sure some of you are asking, what's the big deal, especially with an AliExpress watch? But this one really was that good, and really was a diamond in the rough. I could go into detail about what was so great about it, but since it's kind of gone, there really isn't much of a point. And Escapement Time itself is also pretty interesting, as there were a lot of rumors that it was a one-man operation and kind of a micro brand just hiding in AliExpress. But again, those are just rumors. I mean, no one really knows what's going on with these brands. It's all a big mystery, and there's no one you can really trust to give you a straight answer. But once again, it doesn't really matter anymore because you can't buy this. But for those that are still sort of interested in what's there, I did order one just so I can tell you the differences. Now, the biggest change here is to the movement. The original had a Seiko NH35A automatic, whereas the new one has gone quartz. And for some of you, that's all you need to know. But unfortunately, there is more. The interesting thing here is that they went with a Seiko VH31 quartz movement. And that's one of Seiko's low beat sweeping quartz movements. I've showed a few of them on the channel before, and in some ways that does make this an interesting watch in itself. For the most part, the case here has remained the same. It's just thinner and lighter thanks to that quartz movement. One odd difference though is the crown. It still has that famous similar onion shape, but they have made it much smaller and therefore harder to get a hold of. The movement I can kind of understand, as NH35s have gotten harder or more expensive to source, but I just don't get gimping the crown. It is still screwed in, but water resistance has also dropped from that epic 300 meters to 100. The dial itself has also changed. On the original, I just love the deep glossy black finish. It was like staring into a polished black piano. But now it's more of a standard black sunburst. The indices are still painted on, but they're nowhere near as thick and as plush as they once were. And worst of all, the hands are no longer blued. Honestly, I probably could have forgiven them if they just simply switched to a quartz movement. But the blued hands was one of the key things that made this watch so great. That turned it into a $100 budget favorite, which could give entry-level Lacos a run for their money. But now, that's all gone, and instead we have this blue painted hand that just looks really plasticky, and especially the second hand. Although it's not all bad. In one surprising change, the lume is actually better. The hands are about the same, but the indices seem to have improved longevity. And the price has also dropped, which is a good thing. When I first bought the original, it was like 99 bucks. But after that, word started getting around and the prices started increasing. And eventually, I think it settled around 130, maybe 140 bucks, somewhere around there. But now the quartz version has dropped to around 80. It's not what it was, but it's still not bad for what you're getting. And to be clear, I only know that these changes apply to the 42mm version. There is still the 40mm one with the PT5000. I'm not sure what's changed with that, if anything. And who knows, maybe they'll change all this back in a few months. For now though, this is just simply disappointing. I love the original and it'd be a watch I'd highly recommend, but this is no longer the case. As Fliegers go, it's still well made, and the sweeping quartz movement does make it an interesting proposition, as for a gift or just for someone that doesn't like automatics. But for most watch enthusiasts out there, I think this is now just a no-go. Anyway, that's all I got for you. As usual, let me know what you think about all this down below, or if you can think of another great budget Flieger out there that I should check out, let me know that too. And as always, you guys know what to do down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. It really does help the channel. I'm Shane, this is Relative Time, and I'll see you next time.